Alright YouTube, here it is. It's the Aqua Maxx dual reactor. Okay, so I have a way to flush out the media when I change it. There's a couple little things I've got to figure out, a little tweaking to the piping, but I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time in case I just decide not to change anything. I just deal with it. But okay, so what happens is when the return pipe goes up, it's got that shut off. I can shut that part off. The water that's remaining in the hose and that tube on each side will continue to run out when you take the lid off. That's on me putting the pipe like that, since the pipe's higher than the reactor. If the reactor was up above the piping, it wouldn't do that. So I didn't think about that when I was plumbing it. And the return that's on the right of that blue valve, the water in that will also run out. So I may have to change, just get a longer hose right here and have the reactor lid above those. So that's a little thing that I did wrong, but it's working really well. There's a way to flush it. Once I put the media in here, I just flush it and it's working pretty good. It's got a lot of flow. It has 3/4 inlet and 3/4 outlet, and then the piping to it's just 1/2 inch, but the fittings are all 3/4, so it's working pretty good. When I first turned the carbon one on, it had so much flow and so much power that I shot all the carbon to the top, but the sponge stayed at the bottom. So I started the flow out real slow and got it about as much as it can handle without pushing all the media straight up to the top. I mean, if I took it out and I started with the media at the top, I could run more flow to it. But if you see the GFO, let me show you the GFO. It's got some good spots right here. That's a kind of a dead spot, which that's all flowing through there really well. I don't know why it's doing that, but so the water comes in from the bottom. The top's got a good flow. Let me turn it up just a little bit so we can get that out of there. One area that was not moving. Yeah, that looks pretty good. No, that's not moving. Let's see what happens if I put a little more flow to it. I got all of it moving now. It looks like a lot of GFO because it's not the high capacity. Always, if you don't have a really big tall reactor like this, run the high capacity, because for my tank it's only 2 cups, 2.5 cups. With the regular stuff I have to run 4.5 cups, so there's a lot of GFO that I need to tumble. Let me turn it down just a hair. Get this thing fine-tuned in a couple days. So that's definitely something I didn't think about when I bought the GFO. I'll have to keep tweaking this thing, but how much media is going to be in the reactor. So next time I'll buy the high capacity, and I'll have to use half that media. It's more expensive, but the thing of it is there's good flow here and over here, and if I turn it up, it starts really getting volatile on top right there. Well, I'll let it run like this for a little bit, and yeah, it's actually all moving now, as you can see. Okay, I didn't want to get too long-winded on this whole thing, but if you guys buy one, that's the whole reason for this video. You know, just give you guys ideas of what I went through and what to expect if you guys buy this kind of a reactor. Let me show you the back real quick on how I ran the flushing part of it. Okay, so that's the remainder of the charcoal after I flushed it. So I have these hoses hooked up to these two valves. The one on the right is the GFO, and then that's the return to the tank. So what happens, here's the plumbing on the back side of that wall that we're just on. So the valves to the right, those two, are for the other reactor. The bigger one on this left right here is the feed or the inlet to the two reactors, which goes right there, goes through that wall, little pony wall. The return is this black line, so if I shut that off, none of the purging dirty media water when I'm flushing it will go to the tank. It'll force it to these two valves. I open those and it comes down these hoses, so I'll flush it. I flushed it for a little while into this bucket and it just works out perfect. Alright, you guys have any questions or any comments? Anything I can do better, let me know. I'm not the pro, I'm just here to show you what I've done and share it with you. Alright, like and subscribe if you like the videos. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks.